This is the Three Little Elephants. Once upon a time, there were three little elephants who lived with their parents. When the elephants grew old enough, they went out into the world to live on their own. The first little elephant built a small wooden shack. One day, there was a knock at the door. The big bad mouse was frustrated, so he wrote a note and slipped it under the elephant's door. It read, "Squeak, squeak, squeak, I'm the big bad mouse. I'll rip up your garden, tear down your house. I'll tug on your tail, I'll pull on your ears. I'm mighty and mean, I'm the worst of your fears." Later that day, the elephants found the note.
Oh no, I've never seen that. But it sounds very scary. I imagine that it must be giant, much larger than an elephant. I bet that it has big yellow eyes and long sharp teeth. Oh no, help, there's a big red rabbit on me. I must run away before it comes back to my house. I must run for my life.
The elephant ran through the wooden shack, tripping over tables and bumping into chairs. The terrified elephant left through the back door and ran all the way to the second elephant's house. The second elephant lived in a brick house. It was larger than the first elephant's wooden shack. It also had a doorbell which the first elephant rang. Ring, ring.
Hello? Who's there? It's me, and I'm so scared. There's a big red mouse on me. Can I see your house, please, please? A mouse? I've never seen a mouse, but it sounds very scary. I imagine that a mouse would be gigantic, with a long tail and sharp claws. Come inside, quickly. Lock the door behind you.
A few minutes passed. The two elephants sat in frightened silence. Suddenly, the doorbell rang. The two elephants looked at each other and their terror grew. Who could it be?
I'm not answering it. Don't look at me. I'm not answering it either.
The big bad mouse kept ringing the bell, but no one answered. Finally, he grew frustrated and slipped a note under the door. It read, "Squeak, squeak, squeak, I'm the big bad mouse. I'll rip up your garden, I'll tear down your house. I'll tug on your tail, I'll pull on your ears. I'm mighty and mean, I'm the worst of your fears."
Oh no, this is terrifying. Now the big bad mouse has come to my house. Oh no, what will we do? Where will we go? There's a gigantic, frightening, fierce mouse in the room. Run, we must run for our lives.
The two terrified elephants stumbled out of the house, tangling up their legs and tripping over one another. They left through the back door of the house. They didn't stop running until they arrived to the third elephant's house. The third elephant lived in an enormous mansion. It had a long driveway and a swimming pool. The two elephants rang the doorbell and James the butler answered. As soon as they opened the door, they ran past him shouting and waving their arms wildly.
Oh, Mom. Oh no, it's Turtle. It's Turtle. Help us. Do something. Go for us. Go for me. Don't ignore me. Get a hold of yourself, both of you. You're good at it. Oh, mouse. Oh, mouse. Why did you say so? I've never seen a mouse. But I imagine a mouse would be humongous. Larger than the mountain. I think I'm scared that I might be tired.
The three elephants huddled in fear. They remained very still, listening with extreme care. After a few minutes, the doorbell rang.
Don't answer it, James. Why not, Master Elephant? Don't be ridiculous. Mice are tiny brains creatures that worry about it. See them very.
James went and opened the door. The three elephants were so frightened now that their eyes were popping out and their ears stood straight out from their heads.
But what we have here, a little tiny mouse. Would you please deliver a message to the elephants? Please tell them, squeak, 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 I'm a big bad mouse. I'll rip up your garden, I'll tear down your house. I'll tug on your tail, I'll pull on your ear. I'm mighty and mean, I'm the worst of your fears.
A few
Here, we're safe and slow. I must say, it's not special.
A few minutes passed. The two elephants sat in frightened silence. two elephants looked at each other and their hair flew. Who could it be? Oh. Oh.
Margaret said, come and meet your father.
The three elephants walked very nervously toward the door. The first and second elephants were looking over the shoulder of the third elephant. The three frightened elephants stared at the doorway, but no one appeared to be there besides James the butler. They looked to the left, they looked to the right, they looked up, then they looked down. There on the doorstep stood a little tiny mouse.
But you're so small. We've never seen a mouse before. Well, really, not very frightening at all. You're so huge. I did not know this was the way you look. You're very, very frightening. Elephant.
And with that, the mouse scampered into the woods at last. The elephant had seen that a mouse was very small. They were never frightened of mice again. At last, the mouse had learned that elephants are very large. The mouse never threatened again to rip up an elephant's garden or tear down an elephant's house. Everyone lived happily ever after. The end.